Hey everybody, today, guess what we're going to talk about? Inflation. In today's April market update, everyone is so concerned about the headlines and inflation. We're going to talk about busting that down, making sure that you're doing the right thing for you in this real estate market. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, Jeremy Kane, EXP Realty. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what I'm saying, give me a thumbs up. Absolutely subscribe. Tell your friends. I'm here to keep you in the know of all things real estate, especially as this market changes. I love to keep you informed, make sure that you are doing what's best for you in your real estate situation and helping you build wealth through real estate in this crazy world. Let's get this conversation going. Inflation, it's going to ruin everything, right? The stock market, the real estate market. The Fed maybe made a misstep and didn't raise the rates as soon as they could, or whatever that may be. That's gone. Obviously, inflation's not transitory. It's here to stay for a little bit. So now how do we react? And what's that effect on the real estate market? We all know that the Fed has tapered back buying of mortgage-backed securities, and now they plan to raise the interest rate. Should be 2 by the end of 2022 and 3 by the end of 2023. What's that mean to you for long-term rates? Let's be clear, the Fed rate does not affect the interest rate. I'm no mortgage broker, so we'll leave that to them. What I do know is we may be headed for a recession, and typically in recessions, home values go up and long-term 30-year fixed mortgage rates go down. Who's to know? We'll see how that plays out. But that's what the formula looks ahead when we're talking about inflation from a global perspective. Here's the deal. Sellers are still winning. 20.8% annual appreciation, 30% since the pandemic started. I'm pretty sure that that was one of the most trying economic times that we've been through in our lifetimes, maybe outside of 2008. And real estate definitely improved during the pandemic and what was going on. We all gained value in our homes. The interest rates were low. A lot of us took advantage of that. So many refis. Most people in America that have mortgages are definitely in prime time spot with those mortgage rates. Homes in our market sold for 106.46% list to close price. Buyers are out there scooping things up, competing at the highest levels, and absolutely getting their piece of the pie as they start their journey or continue their journey to financial freedom through real estate. A shift in inventory, you say? Absolutely. There are 1,000 more active properties as March concluded on the market. That is absolutely great news. First things first, keep in mind it's seasonality. The winter is gone, the spring is coming, people are putting their homes on the market, gearing up for that move maybe in the summertime or, come May or June once it's a lot nicer, once the kids are maybe out of school and finish out their school year, whatever that may be. It's a little bit of seasonality, and it's also sellers looking to cash in on what they've seen as a great real estate market and a great time to sell. Add to that, interest rates here have gone up from 3.9 to 4.78% in the month of March, bringing a little bit of concern to the buyers, maybe pricing some buyers out of certain markets. And so that's that. We will dive into how much it has actually affected the buyer pool shortly. However, with more inventory, we saw more homes go pending and more homes closed than ever before in the month of March. So as fast as they're coming to the market, they're getting scooped up, further creating an inventory problem. So we're not out of the woods yet. As I've told you before, we need a listing amount of about 30,000 to become a balanced market. So a shift in the market is a little bit preliminary when we're barely topping over 2,000 listings in our market. Just below that inflation scare tactic headline, here we have the bubble. And it's all related, I understand. We're absolutely not in a bubble, and here's why. I'll say it again. The basic law of any economic situation is supply and demand. We continue to see the demand rise. We continue to see supply maybe come on a little bit more than it has in the past, but get scooped up. So therefore, the demand is far outweighing the supply, and it continues through interest rates, through appreciation. We still are seeing multiple offers, and things are still very competitive out there for buyers, regardless of all of that information that I just gave you. The 3 main keys to why we are not in a bubble and we have the position that we're in: 69.2% of an equity position for all homeowners. That's a ridiculous amount of money. So they have the ability to price a little low or, price at market value and get what they want, if not above. So they're not discounting anything there. Also, we have an extremely low vacancy rate, 1.6% in rentals and homes. So that's a huge reason that we still don't have enough supply to fulfill all the incoming pressure. And let's not forget the birth rates. 30 to 33 years ago, the birth rates were high, and those millennials and 30-somethings keep flowing into the market with courage and energy to start their financial future and get into a home and quit paying someone else's mortgage. So what is the answer? I am telling you that inflation is real, it is here, but it also affects the cost of everything, including the cost to build a home. The labor shortages continue. Our employment rate is below 4%, which it's only been that way about 3 times since 1950. So the jobs are there and people are there, they're just not filling up those jobs. So that's a huge thing. And the answer, honestly, I will tell you, is buy now. Buy at today's prices, buy at today's rates, because we don't know what the future holds. And as prices continue to increase and as interest rates kind of do their thing throughout the year, you never know. And the honest truth is you need a home, you need to start that investment. Even if there was a correction tomorrow, as long as you stayed in that home, held on, the future will be bright, because the past tells us that even when it goes down, it comes up. And I know all of you, what goes up must come down. It really hasn't done that in the past. We would like to see a little steadying off of appreciation, to be honest with you. It's a little bit more healthy, when it's in the, 4 to 6% range versus the 18 to 22% range. So the answer is to get in now, start that clock ticking, start paying down that principal, and you have a place to live, and that's super important. So as we go into the summer months, I think we've seen our 15 to 20% over askings and things of that nature. Well, now those homes are starting to sell, and that becomes the benchmark for the next sale. We're not going to see a $200,000 jump in a $600,000 home in 3 months. So now it comes down to those terms. Now the gloves are off. You got to make sure that you're ready to roll. I think that the prices will kind of stabilize as they did last year, as I called for this year. As I saw it come in January, February, March, things go crazy. And then as we settle in April, May, June, the real players come out, and we're not going for the 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 over asking. We've gained that appreciation. You don't get it back. It's not like it goes away. But then the next home seller who's educated will list their house at that higher price, and then we'll see the $5,000 to $20,000 over asking price. But it really comes down to the terms at that point, because when we're talking, under $30,000 on a life of a loan, it doesn't affect that monthly payment as much, as the 100,000, so on and so forth. Also, we have people starting the process knowing that the interest rates are, up and elevated, so they're making their plan based on that versus, if they had in January, then they've been bid out, but now all of a sudden they're trying to bid and they can't bid as high because their purchase power has gone down with interest rates. So absolutely no time like the present. Think about if you waited last year, $757 added to your monthly payment on average, with a 75% equity gain for the sellers and an interest rate that's 1.4% higher than it was at that time. And all that saving, while you're renting, saving another year, waiting for the market to cool down, it's really cost you. And unfortunately, I'm here to tell you today that if you don't get in today, it's going to cost you next year too, because we're going to continue to see this supply and demand and go from there. If you need anything, comment below. If this makes you angry, sad, happy, definitely shoot me a comment below. I respond to all comments. Would love to sit down with you and make a plan. The ultimate truth is the time for you to purchase a home is based on your situation and not all this crap I just talked about. So look forward to talking to you soon. Jeremy Kane, EXP Realty. Thanks for tuning in.